Yeah, I love them. I think they're super cool, super different. All right, so let's talk about some of the other new products in with Ranger. So first up, we'll talk about some of the simple things, what I consider to be simple, which is the new Picket fence. This was one that last year when we did a new color every month, everyone's like, it's good. I knew the new color was going to be white. I'm like, but that's not a new color because Picket fence exists in every other medium except an ink pad. We already have Picket fence in a marker, a stain, a spray stain, a paint. It just didn't exist in an ink pad, and that's simply because I wanted an ink pad that was like a distress pad. It is a felt pad. It is not a foam. It is a white pigment, but it has the same properties as distress ink. So everything that we do with distress, that's what we do with this. So it's not like the Glacier White pigment ink, okay? Even though it is a pigment, it's not a glycerin-based pigment. So what can you do? Well, let me see. I'm gonna steal a black tag over that back. Go anywhere. I'd be cheating if I used something other than really dark black just to show you. So you're like, oh, he just did it on manila to show us. No, what's nice about this is white. It's a white pigment, reactive with water, same way distress is. So it's gonna wick exactly the way distress wicks. If you want to blend it, it blends exactly the same way. So if you want to blend around black cardstock, craft cardstock, but this ink that's on here, this ink is dry. So unlike a glycerin-based pigment that you have to heat set, you don't have to because this is the same resin as distress. To stamp with, stamp's awesome. Whatever it is you want to stamp with, I'm going to carefully put this onto my block. I'm not even going to bother. Stamp with the stamp set. We can go in, stamp with the ink. Had great opacity. So yeah, it's everything you want with distress in a distress ink. Because I'm really not a fan of squishy pigment pads, you know, that are foamy and kind of wet and mucky. I wanted something that worked like the dye inks, but obviously needed to be a white pigment. So it took us a while to get there, but they did it. Yes, I know. It took us a long time to have a white distress ink. I wanted it for a long time. Like, but we have it in everything else. We have that crazy little marker that turns.
But you're not doing it in the
Can't
mini.
we do that? I'm not doing it in the mini.
There's no more room.
Well, the reason I'm not doing it in the mini is because it's a pigment. You really need enough pigment to, you need enough surface for that pigment to actually dispense on.
And it's too small.
It's just too small. And so there's no way, even when you re-ink it, to get that pigment to spread out, and it just won't be a good end user experience. It has a re-inker. You don't need it, so it's not like you have to re-ink it every time. The re-inker is sold in a different shaped bottle because it has a mixing ball in it, and the mixing ball didn't like that cool little glass eyedropper.
Oh, it did? No, they don't get along. It would crack.
I tried it. Oh, it did. It didn't crack the bottle, it cracked the dropper inside.
Yeah.
So the bottle was fine, but when you're doing that, then you unscrew it and like the dropper is down inside there. Yeah. I tried. It sounded good in theory, like, but it needs to match. And I'm like, no, not at that. So yeah, that's really cool.
Be sure to like our video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Scrap Time Videos, to be the first to see the latest videos from CHA 2016.